Hello everyone, welcome to Vicky's Keto Way of Life. Today I'm going to be making my homemade red curry, and really I just call it coconut chicken soup. And so I make a homemade curry. I made it just several weeks ago for a baby shower. I didn't follow a recipe, I never do, but that day I made it with just kale and broccoli because that's all the vegetables I had on hand and didn't have time to go to the grocery store. So I'm going to be making this today, and I'm just kind of showing you everything that I'm using. I have my dried peppers here, and I will be rehydrating those. I'll be using some green onions, some garlic, some ginger, some mushrooms, bok choy, Asian cabbage, kale, and this is the brand and the only brand that I use for my coconut milk. And so I'll be using two different types of sesame oil, coconut oil, Thai chili garlic paste, and also I will be using this chili paste also, and a whole array of other spices, and I'll just tell you as I go along. Alright, the first thing here that I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and put my peppers in the water. Now I like to have a lot of peppers in there. So I'll get that turned on so that can start rehydrating now. On my chicken that I use organic chicken, and I go ahead and I buy the boneless and the skinless, and then I cut it up in just little pieces. After I get my chicken all cut up, what I like to do is go ahead and stick some spices in it. And so this is some ginger, just ground up ginger powder. A lot of my stuff that I make myself, just like with my pepper, is I have a garden every summer, and so in my garden I always have lots of peppers, and then I dehydrate them so that way I can use them all throughout the year. And this is garlic powder right here, if you can see it. Sorry, just bear with me as I do one video after another. I will get better, I am sure. I hope anyway. So then I know this is kind of an Asian dish, but you know, I put my own spin on every single thing, and I absolutely love Chinese 5-spice. A lot of my spices I do make myself. So this I found at a store, a specialty store, on sale, and I tried it, bought it, absolutely loved it. So now I'm just going to take that and just mix that up together and just kind of let it sit, get my hands all washed as I start cutting up all the vegetables and things for the rest of the meal. Alright, so now I have my Instant Pot plugged in, and we're going to put that on saute in just a moment. But first I want to be able to cut up some of my stuff that I put in there first, and which is the first thing that I do is I always take my ginger. And so I like to get a good chunk of it, sometimes only like a thumb, but you know, I love ginger and I absolutely love the way it tastes. So this is kind of my trick to peeling ginger, is I just take my spoon and I just scrape it. Alright, so now I have my ginger all scraped, as you can see. So now I just like to cut it just real fine. So I'll move that up out of the way, and then I'm going to be able to get my garlic. All right, so now that I have my green onions, my garlic, and my ginger all chopped up nicely the way I like it, then I'm going to go ahead and turn on the saute on my Instant Pot. So then I'm going to just come over here and grab my sesame oils. Now I like to use two different kinds. So I use a pure sesame oil, and then of course I'm the spice girl. Got to have some hot sesame oil. Yum yum. So then I'm just going to pour that in there and get that nice and hot. That saute on my Instant Pot gets hot very quickly. And I love sesame oil. And then I'm going to also stick some coconut oil in there. So my Instant Pot is nice and hot now, and I'm going to stick all this in there. Now, I wish I could really show you. I don't have everything down yet on how to videotape, so I apologize for that. It's going to take time, and so because I would love for you to hear the nice, awesome sizzle as the vegetables hit the pan. Alright, so it's all in the pan now. So I'm just going to let that sit there and cook down just a little bit, and then I'm going to add the chicken to it. But that chicken will absorb all these awesome flavors. Alright, so I just got through putting the chicken in. Now I don't know if you've ever used the Instant Pot, but you use the saute button and you never put the lid on it when you're sauteing. I just like to mix this around really good because I want all the flavors to incorporate. Now while that's sitting in the pan sauteing, I'm going to go over and start cutting up all the rest of my vegetables. Now I just cut that right in half. And all I'm going to do is just cut up all the vegetables, and then I'll just show it to you because everything is going to shrink when it gets into the hot soup. So right here I have my Napa cabbage all cut up, and so now I'm cutting up my bok choy, and then I'll be cutting up my mushrooms and then the rest of my green peppers. And so I'll be back.
Go.
Alright, so now I'm going to take my mushrooms and go ahead and add my mushrooms into the chicken. That way that mushrooms, they be able to saute down and also absorb all the wonderful flavors that's already in there with the chicken. Alright, so now I'm going to get my green peppers. And I'll go ahead and cut my green peppers, and then I'll show you what the next step is. So apparently I said green peppers. So I guess you all know that these are green onions. Sorry. Guess what? I'm human. Cutting up my kale. So I'm cutting up my kale. In my bowl already I have my Napa cabbage, my bok choy, and my green onions. So in the Instant Pot now is the chicken with all the spices and the mushrooms. And so now I have my kale, which will be added to the bowl, which will be added to the Instant Pot later. Okay, so now my peppers are rehydrated. So now it's time to make Vicki's red curry. So I'll just pour this whole entire thing along with the juice that's in it, that's still left in there, into my Vitamix. And then I stick 2 cans of coconut milk. also stick some of this. First I'm going to put this in. And I only put about 1 big heaping spoonful. And I end up adding more to my soup later because I like really spicy. So now we're going to put 1 scoop of this in, so it'll be about 1 to 2 tablespoons. And then we'll turn on the Vitamix, and then we'll pause because it's going to get really loud. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, so now this is done. Got to do a taste test so you can see what it looks like. Delicious. So now I'm just going to take it and we'll pour it in. Now I also added some pink Himalayan salt to it. I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to turn on the Instant Pot. And what I do is I will just turn it on to soup. And then just put the lid on. And then just let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, then I'll put the vegetables in for another about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to put on my vegetables. So if you look in here, you can see what it looks like now. And I'll just take it by my hand and put it in. That way it doesn't go everywhere. So I will tell you that I did forget one thing, which the reason a lot of times I forget things is because I don't write stuff down. So I forgot my lemongrass, which the lemongrass, when I use it, I always put it in a little baggie and then I put it in there to be able to absorb the flavor. So when I do forget it, I have a secret that I do. So come with me. Pure lemon juice, organic lemon juice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take some of this and I'm going to pour it in. So that's going to add the lemon flavor that the lemongrass would normally add into it. So I'm just going to mix this up good, put the lid back on it for about another 5 minutes, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, so now we're finished, and if you'll look and see how beautiful that looks, how tasty it is. Now you just scoop it up. Yum. See you next time on Vicki's Keto Way of Life. Bye.